All right, y'all. The packs we've all been waiting for. At least I have been waiting for. I'm probably not the only one. 1990 Fleer Canadian. Now, we'll start out by saying that big fan of the Canadian stuff. Growing up in upstate New York, Syracuse, I always knew that Canada was about an hour and a half north of me if we took Interstate 81 and went up through the Thousand Islands into Quebec, or about two and a half hours west of me if we took the New York State Thruway, I-90, up into Buffalo and then crossed the border at Niagara Falls. And the wife and I actually took our honeymoon in Toronto many years ago. So always been partial to Canada. And when it came to baseball cards, the same applied. We've got an 88 O-Pee-Chee wax pack box that we've been doing videos on. That's the Canadian version of Topps. A lot of fun. And we got an 88 Leaf wax pack box. That's the Canadian version of Donruss that we've been pulling packs out of. That's been a lot of fun. Now, O-Pee-Chee and Leaf have been doing sets for a number of years, especially back in the junk wax era. Fleer, on the other hand, this 1990 set is the only one that I'm familiar with in Fleer's attempt to make a Canadian set. And when I actually found out about it, I'm not sure how I found out about it. It was either Beckett or the trading card database or the baseball encyclopedia website, something like that. I got looking into it, and as overproduced as the 1990 Fleer American or regular set, if you will, was, the 1990 Fleer Canadian set is underproduced. And to prove that, the common card value for 1990 Fleer regular is 5 cents, a nickel. The common card value for one of these Fleer Canadian cards is 50 cents. So if that tells you. So we've got some pretty big hitters in terms of cards. We've got the Dave Martinez card worth $20. We just pulled a Donnie Baseball card from the 1990 Fleer Cello Pack that we just did a video on. That would have been a $6 card had we pulled it from this set. Barry Bonds, $10. Ken Griffey Jr., $15. Sammy Sosa, $25. My Alan Trammell comes in at $1, but I'm not stressing. The big card to get is going to be the Cal Ripken Jr. Player of the Decade card. Apparently, one source, and I believe it's Beckett, tells me that there is an error card and then a corrected card, but another source, and I don't know if it's the trading card database or what, doesn't make mention of it. But according to Beckett, the error card where his last name is misspelled on the front is worth $50. Corrected card worth $4. And then Will Clark's Player of the Decade, $10. All right, let's take a look, and I'll show you how you can differentiate between the American version and the Canadian version. Let's pull 2 packs. This is going to be packs 1 and 2, and we're going to do 2 videos. So this will be video 1 of 2. Yes, this pack is a lot cleaner than the 1990 Fleer wax pack. Now, this is going to be, the Canadian set is also a full 660 card set. Unlike the O-Pee-Chee and Leaf sets, which are the Canadian version of Topps and Donruss respectively, those are sets that have a lot less cards than their American counterparts. The 1990 Fleer Canadian set is a full 660 cards, so I believe these are 15 card, nope, these are 10 card packs. Even though they're 660 cards, these are still just 10 card packs, as it says right there on the bottom. 10 cards, 1 sticker. The stickers are not Canadian. They are the American version stickers, but I do include the stickers that I pull from these Canadian packs. I include, oh, there's the Thunder. I include in the Canadian set that I'm building. And this is how you can tell. There is no way to tell on the front of the card that it is the Canadian version. It looks exactly like the American version. The back, however, instead of saying Fleer printed in Phila, Phila, period, Pennsylvania on the back, it will say Fleer Limited, Ltd, and then LTEE, and then printed in Canada. That's the only way you can tell. There's no French on these cards. So you have to look at the copyright on the bottom, and that will tell you if it's an American version or a Canadian version. All right, let's get into the cards. Start out with our American League sticker, a four-banger, the Baltimore Orioles, the Boston Red Sox, the Chicago White Sox, and the California Angels. And this is what I'm talking about. See it? This is the American version, 1990 Fleer Corp, Phila. Okay, it doesn't say PA, but Phila then gives the zip code, printed in USA. As opposed to, see what it says on the Canadian? A little bit different. So there you go. All right, for cards, we've got Matt Winters, Jeff Reed, Mike Blowers, Tom Brookins, Dave West, Scott Scudder, Greg Catterett, Shane Rowley, Frank White, and finally Kurt Stillwell. Man, those cards are looking great. Nice and crisp. Phenomenal cards. Didn't really get anybody spectacular, but okay, those were all 50-cent cards. So whatever 50 cents times 10 is, I'm horrible at math, so I couldn't tell you. All right, second pack, 10 cards. Did we get the same sticker? We did. We got the exact same sticker. And it looks like, let's just double check, teensy little nick on that card. And I noticed it because there's a little bit of a nick on this card. Yeah, that thunder's coming, y'all. But just very minor, so we're gonna run with it. Not gonna toss the card out. Got Mark Davis, Bob McClure, Charlie O'Brien, Melito Perez, Ozzie Guillen, Tony Armas, Chris Basio, Ken Patterson, Dave Gallagher, and finally Andy Bennis. Well, y'all, if it wasn't Fleer Canadian, I'd say we were the hydrant on those two packs, not the dog. But it's Fleer Canadian. Those are all 50-cent cards, so I guess we can be considered the dog this time. All right, folks, there you have it. A pair of 1990 Fleer Canadian 10-card wax packs from the box. Video 1 of 2, packs 1 and 2. Stay tuned. We're going to try again in video 2 of 2 with 2 more packs. See what we can get. Stay safe and stay tuned.